So when I first started doing makeup a few months ago, I went to the one place where I learned to do everything. YouTube. I learned to code on here, I learned how to build a computer on here, and I thought I could learn how to do makeup on YouTube. Well, when I went to go type in the little YouTube search bar, how to do makeup, Hackerman style, there was nothing on there. There was no one video that I could find that made a lot of sense to me as a beginner, someone who had never done makeup before, how to do makeup. Now that I'm months forward, I can sort of do makeup. I want to make one of those videos for anyone who's just starting out to do makeup, doesn't know how to do makeup, or was like me, who is a boy who wants to learn how to do makeup. I'm basically going to teach you all my tips and tricks that I've learned of how to do makeup. So I'm not going to focus a lot on how to do eyeshadow because I can't really do eyeshadow. That'll be a separate video later down the line for me because I can't really do it. So I'm just going to be focusing on face makeup and things you can do to prime your face, moisturization, everything like that. I will have a video for my skincare routine later down the line, but for right now I just wanted to focus on the main thing I'm good at, and that's complexion products. So if you're excited to see and maybe learn some stuff, or maybe just some refreshers, because maybe you did makeup a long time ago, whatever your situation is, I hope my video can help you. In the description down below there will be timestamps of everything you need to know, so like moisturizing, priming, foundation, there will be everything so you can just skip around. If there's one topic you really want to focus on, if that makes sense. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you are excited, you can leave a like. I don't really care. I don't really ask you guys to do that stuff too often because it makes the intros really long. But my intro is like 2 minutes long, so I don't really care. Okay, so enough rambling. Let's get straight on to the video. Okay guys, so I think I should start out by just listing everything that you need to do when you do makeup. This is my preferred order, and I'll just talk about everything. So first I cleanse, then I moisturize. I use primer, foundation, concealer, contour, bake, eyeshadow, eyebrows, I switch off the bake, blush, then highlight, and then I set the face. That's basically what I do. That is my personal preferences. Some people do eyes first, some people do brows first. That's just how I learned. That's how Jeffree Star does it. That's how Manny MUA does it. And I'm not saying that they're like the one all be all, but again, I learned everything that I learned how to do makeup off of YouTube. So those are just my preferred styles, like learning to talk, people have different accents. And my makeup accent is just the way that Jeffree Star and Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Jaclyn Hill, the way that they do it. So following that order, I'm already cleansed my skin. It's nice and soft. As usual, I do have texture and oily skin, so I'll be showing products that do work for me. All of these products 100% work on my skin tone, my skin type. So some products may not work for you. This is just basically what I do. This is me teaching you. You can off with everything I say. You can listen to what I say. I don't really care because I'm a ratchet ass hoe. I'm going to start out with moisturizing. This is the Tarte Drink of H2O. This is a very expensive moisturizer, but it has like good stuff in it. Apparently it has like hyaluronic acid or something. I don't know. I bought it because it was pretty packaging and like I'm a sucker for packaging. So I'm just going to start out by moisturizing my face. Oh, it is very cold. Oh wow, it is really cold. This moisturizer is supposed to work on all skin types, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to moisturize all over my skin, patting it into circular motion. Some people like to like pat it on, but I read somewhere that rubbing it in actually is the most effective way. I don't know why. When I first started getting acne and blemishes and stuff, I just focused on drying out my skin. It didn't work. When I started packing on moisture and adding hydration to the skin, that's when my zits started to clear up. Of course, I still get zits. I'm a hormonal teenager, but they're cystic zits, which means it's mostly my dairy love giving me hormonal zits, and mostly just me being a pubescent teenager. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the second step. This is the priming section. This is the MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime. This is basically just a hydrating, prepping, and priming and setting spray that's going to add a lot of moisture to my skin, so just there's a lot of added moisture so that the makeup glides on evenly. I'm just going to rub this all throughout my skin. This actually makes my skin super tacky, and that's really the main part of priming, is to ensure that your skin adheres to the makeup really, really well. Okay, so the thing about primers is a lot of different primers do a lot of different things. You want to find one that's perfect for your skin type and your skin concerns. Like, I don't have big pores, but I have zits, and I get really shiny throughout the day. So what I like to put on my zits is the E.L.F. Blemish Control Primer. This is in this green tube. It kind of is like a misconception that this is going to come out green. It doesn't come out green, it comes out completely clear, but this is tea tree and salicylic acid in it. Tea tree and salicylic acid are basically going to clear up any zits that you have by also, it's unclogging your pore, and also tea tree is an antimicrobial, so it's really just going to get rid of any of those bad things on your face. Lately my skin has not been super shiny, which is a really good thing, but if you have super shiny skin, I definitely recommend the Professional, but I will not be going in with that today because I don't really need it. It's really important to find a primer that works for your skin type and skin needs, such as acne, oiliness, redness, pores, just any of that kind of stuff. Also, some primers work a little bit better on light skin people than they do on dark skin people. It's just sort of the truth. A lot of primers give a little bit of flashback on darker skin toned men and women. It's just what it is. You have to really find one, you have to play with it, you have to sample it. You just don't stick to one product just because a Caucasian beauty guru likes it. You really want to find people that has your skin types and aren't complete sellouts. Now that we're nice and primed, we're going to move on to the second portion of makeup, and that is foundation. So, foundations come in multiple different coverages. They come in multiple different skin types, obviously a lot of different skin shades. So again, it's really important to find something that's going to work for your needs and your skin tones. So mostly the most standard foundation coverage types are light, or it's like sheer, light, medium to full. So some are medium to full, some are light to medium. You just really got to figure out what works for you and what you need. Now when I have zits, I like to go for a full coverage kind of thing, but when I have just bad redness down here and dryness, I like to go for a more light medium foundation. That's why I absolutely love dropper foundations like the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation, because you really get to customize how much coverage you want at that exact moment. Now some foundations that are more mattifying won't be as good for drier skin, and more dewy foundations will not be good for oily skin because they'll just break down and look like an absolute mess. Trust me, they will. So if you have more dry skin, steer away from any mattifying primers that you know will mess with your skin type. A really good matte foundation that won't fuck up your skin is definitely the Fenty Beauty foundation. That is amazing on dry skin. It like did not break where I have dry skin. Another really good non-drying mattifying foundation is the Peaches and Cream foundation by Too Faced Cosmetics. That's literally my only collection I actually like from Too Faced. No tea, no shade. You can do a lot of different things to apply your foundation. You can either drop it onto the back of your hand, you can put it directly on your face. I like to take dropper foundations and drop this onto the back of my hand, because then I can just pick it up with my kabuki brush and then just dust it all over my face. If you want more of a full coverage look, you should definitely go with a dense kabuki brush such as the Morphe Y6. I think Sigma has a really good one. That's going to get rid of any streaks, but also giving a full coverage kind of look. If you want a little less full coverage look but have a little bit more of an airbrush finish, the Beauty Blender is perfect for that. You just want to take the damp Beauty Blender and go over it. Sometimes when I'm actually done blending out with a brush, I'll go over with a sponge to get rid of any of the streakiness that the very dense brush may have. I don't really know if that takes out any coverage. It's never been my experience with that technique for that to happen. So, I mean, honestly, you just want to play around, again, with your skin type and needs. I'm just going to take the foundation onto my eyes. This might seem a little redundant to talk about, but if you are a beginner, these are just the little things you want to do to make sure that your makeup stays all day. I know I joke about it a lot, but makeup seriously does not have any rules. There's just sort of a preferred look that everyone wants to go for. If that's not your preferred look, go girl. You go girl, because like who cares what anyone else thinks? But this is just what works best on me. This is what I found in my months of doing makeup looks the best on me. And yeah, just be confident in your own makeup abilities. Don't give a fuck about what anyone else says. When I first started doing makeup, everyone was like, oh, it's streaky and stuff. I'm like, fuck yourself. But then I got better, and here I am teaching other people how to do makeup. Honestly, I'm making these videos for the people that really don't know how to do makeup and want to learn. Because like, again, when I first started doing makeup, I wanted to know. I wanted to learn so badly, and there was no one video that could just teach me. And if you were wondering, this is the Rainforest of the Sea foundation. I'm in the shade Light Medium Sand. If you want a dupe for this, it's the NYX Total Control drops. They're amazing. They're just as good. The formula is very similar. Good coverage. It actually tells you how many drops you'll need to get it, which Tarte doesn't really advertise that much. They talked about it like once on their Snapchat, and I think in the video, but that was it. So the next step in your full beat, full glam, full amazingness makeup is concealer. A lot of people think concealer is for covering up zits or just going under your eyes. That's wrong. It's not. You can use it like that, and concealer is usually just a more pigmented, full coverage, concentrated foundation. A lot of the formulas kind of work like that, but that's not how I use concealers. I use concealers, 1, to conceal, but also 2, to highlight and make me look a little less flat. This is my all-time favorite concealer. This is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is amazing. It creases like none, especially when I set it. It is matte, full coverage, affordable AF. Also, ColourPop's at Sephora now, and like, amazing, right? Because when you go into Sephora, not everyone has $1 million to spend. So first, I'm just going to take the wand, and I apply it in like a triangle under my eye. This is what YouTube taught me to do. I don't know if this actually does anything. Just do it. I don't know. Just like, you gotta work with your face shape to see like what works for you. I'm just gonna apply it to the middle of the face, down here, down the bridge of the nose, on your forehead a little bit, just like that. And there you have it. Right now I look a little bit crazy, but if you notice the concealer is a little lighter for my skin tone, this is gonna brighten up my skin a little bit and make me look a little more snatched. Boys can always do the mouth pop better. So now I'm just going to take the same kabuki brush. You can also do this with a beauty blender, but the kabuki brush just does not take away a lot of the coverage. I'm just going to blend it back and forth like that, bring the product up and not down. This is going to give me a really snatched look. So remember, you always want to go a few shades lighter in your concealer, but not too light where you look freaking insane with like whiteness under your eyes, because like no one wants that. If you want to leave your concealer on a little bit longer so it like gets a little bit tacky, like that is 100% a viable option. That's what Jackie Aina does, or Aina if you're freaking insane. But yeah, then I'm just gonna stipple this in just because like get a little bit more of a full coverage action going on here, and then just keep going. By the way, if you're the same shade skin tone as me, that was the shade light in that concealer. So I'm looking a little bit streaky under my eyes and a little bit unblended out. So I'm going to go grab a dampened beauty blender and just make sure that it's all set into my skin. So here I have the dampened beauty blender. A lot of people don't understand what the word dampened means when it comes to a beauty blender. When I say dampened, I mean I took it under the faucet, I squeezed out all of the excess water, and I towel dried it. It's still nice and moist, still nice and damp, so it's still like sets the concealer into the skin and is still super fluffy and blends it out beautifully, but it's not melting my foundation off my skin, if that makes sense. So this is just going to give me a really beautiful airbrush look, and then I'm just going to pounce this all over my face to blend out any of the streakiness that I may have. Okay, and that's how I'm concealed. If you look under my eyes, it looks a little bit brighter. If you look in my forehead and in my T-zone, I do also look a little bit lighter. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier powder. This is definitely a high-end powder. This was like $38. You don't have to go in with a high-end powder. A lot of powders do the same thing. Just kidding, no they don't. A lot of powders flash back, especially in the drugstore. The NYX Pure Silica powder definitely flashes back like a bitch. A lot of the drugstore powders flash back so bad, but like, you just want to maybe invest in a high-end powder, or the Maybelline one works just as well. The Maybelline Fit Me powder is so amazing. It does not really flash back because it's not like a bone color. So yeah, by baking, this is going to ensure my makeup lasts all day long, and it's also going to get rid of any creasing that I'm under my eyes, even though there's not a lot. So this is called baking. If you're not aware with what baking is, it's when powder sets into your skin to get rid of any creasing and extend the longevity of your makeup. This is not a beauty guru thing. This is not a YouTuber thing. The drag queens and theatrical makeup artists made this up. So a big to you. Okay, so I'm going to let that bake for a few minutes while I cream contour. So I hear a lot of people on YouTube say that you shouldn't put cream over powder or something. I don't really care. It doesn't really affect me at all. I still think I look pretty good. So basically contouring is to make your face add a little bit of dimension back into your face when you use a full coverage foundation. It's also going to make you look a little bit chiseled, a little more masculine. I don't know why, but Kim K like revolutionized it apparently. More like Mario and her makeup artist, but whatever. Let's just give the credit to Kim. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this into the hollows of my cheeks. I'm going to take this on my jawline. I'm going to take this down my nose. So now that I brought it up into my eyebrows, it's going to add a really, really beautiful shadow. Wayne Goss actually said to do this, and he's my queen, so like, do it. I'm going to just take this little kabuki brush that it came with. Honestly, creams blend out so nicely with kabuki brushes. Honestly, it's just whatever you want. So I'm just going to blend this upwards. You don't want to blend it down because it doesn't give as much of a snatched effect that we want here. You just want to blend it up and towards the hairline while also going in circular directions upwards. I know it's confusing. You just got to play around with it until you get your optimal look. So if you can see on this side of the face, it added like a really beautiful shadow. Do you see that? I do see that. So a thing that I might be leaving out of this tutorial is bronzing. I actually don't bronze. I know I'm probably going to get beat up on the beauty community if they're probably going to throw their Morphe brushes at me like a die bitch, but I don't bronze. because like I don't find it necessary. I bring the contour up and I blend it up to my face. And if you're not familiar with what bronzing is, it's adding color back into the face. It looks really beautiful on people who are lighter skin tone than me or who are super pale. I'm also not using blush because, again, I don't think blush looks good on my skin tone. Because I just don't. It's just my opinion. Blush looks super good on you, then like congrats. I don't do blush either. So this is just me teaching you how to do makeup the way that I do makeup. So this video is going to be getting super long, so I should probably hurry up. And there, that's how you contour everything. My nose looks slimmer. I look a little more chiseled to the gods. Now, since I'm not teaching you how to do eyeshadow in this video, I'm just going to leave it out altogether because I'm a savage like that. So I'm just going to quickly go over with my beauty blender and just blend that out a little bit more. Now, before I forget, I'm just going to dust off any of that baking powder that I have left over because, like, I sometimes forget, and that's embarrassing. Okay, now my entire face is baked. Now I'm just going to move on to brows. This is precisely my brow pencil. I love this because it makes the brows look so natural. So explaining how to do brows is really hard because a lot of people do their brows differently. So this is just how I do them. I take short strokes into my bald spots, but also, like, adding to places that I don't have any. What's really great about the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit, it is expensive, but it does have a spoolie on one end. Then you can just comb the brows up to blend it out. I am a boy, by the way, if you can tell. And so my brows are naturally super thick, like my butt. And so what I do is I really don't fill them in too much. So if you're a girl and have like thinner brows, you just want to go in with more drama, a little less of a hard hand, and more determination to live. Because girl brows are hard. So I'm just going to brush them again. You guys have not seen my kit in a while. She has grown to perfection. She hates me still. Okay, now that my brows are all done, it is time for the most fun part of makeup, and that is the highlighting. Some of you might be super confused and be like, Charlie, what the hell are you talking about, you psycho bitch? What are you talking about? You already highlighted. This is called powder highlighting. It's adding a lot of shimmer to your face to really make you pop, look a little dewy, and really beautiful. I'm going to take the Morphe R36. It's this super fluffy, super wispy brush. This is going to make sure that the highlight is not too poppin'. I'm going to take it on this really beautiful pink shade and also mixing into the white shade. Like foundation and concealer, finding the right skin toned highlighter is super important because you don't want to get a gray cast or just look crazy with bright highlighter. So I'm just going to swoop this on the face. Also the most pigmented highlighter in the world, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I want a little bit of a more blinding highlight, so I'm just going to take my MAC Fix Plus, the same Prep and Prime water. I'm just going to spray it one time, maybe twice, and I'm just going to pick it up again on that brush. That's going to add a lot of pigment and make sure that it's super highlighty. So you're just going to apply this to the tops of your cheekbones, on the bridge of your nose, very lightly, and also on your cupid's bow. Okay, now that I'm all done with that, I'm going to move on to setting spray. Now, just like primers, setting sprays can have a lot of different uses in what they can do for your skin. Now, I have a few here. I'm actually out of some. But here is the MAC Fix Plus. This is going to give you a lot of dewiness, and it's going to get rid of any of the powdery look that we have from setting the face. We also have the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. This is really good at mattifying the skin. Since I have oily skin sometimes, this is perfect for days where I'm feeling a little bit greasy and shiny and not the right places. Sometimes I like to use these in accordance with one another because they kind of balance each other out, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go. And also go. Setting sprays that work for your skin needs, such as making dewiness, hydration, really whatever you need. Urban Decay makes a really, really good, really, really expensive setting spray that makes your makeup last for like all the time. Like sleep in your makeup. Don't do that, that's bad for your skin. But yeah. Okay, and that is your final how-to on makeup. I really hope you learned some stuff from me. If you have any questions, I will be sure to answer them in the comment section below. I wanted to add a resource for people who are starting to do makeup so they can actually really learn and get really, really good at this art because it's my favorite type of art. I hate painting. Anyway, a little later down the line, I might add a tutorial for eyeshadow or how to do eyeshadow because I know eyeshadow is hard for me. I might learn one day and I'm sort of getting the hang of it, but I definitely need a little more practice time. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this very long video. I really, really hope you enjoyed. I worked so hard to make this video and it took me about 30 minutes to film. It's probably going to take me another 5 hours to edit and make the thumbnail for. But I think it's really worth it because even if I teach one person how to do makeup, I think that's like a really big accomplishment. Okay guys, thank you so much again. I love you all and I'll see you later.